The clock has struck the crowing hour, so you know what time it is. Have you brought your party with you? Speakers up, daylights down.
Especially when you're not saying we are going to get the coloring books into the bookstore that we like regardless of the cost. That would be interpreted one way. But when you're saying things like the only reason not to kill is non-aggression and we are being aggressed against, and then we will defend this law at all or regardless of the cost, that means you are going to commit terrorism to achieve your goals, to every grand jury and jury, and then lifetime in jail. He says, quote, Rome fell because men of conscience, men like us, would not do what they must regardless of the cost. Again, and we see this quote at the end of the speech, regardless of the cost, it's time. It is time. Well, what is it time for? I can promise you that every police department, every FBI office is going to think, after hearing this and reading the transcript, that it's time for violence. And he also says, and we start, quote, we start today. And then this is the sentence that will guarantee, no matter how much of a pacifist you are, no matter how afraid of firearms or even firecrackers you are, no matter how much you work only with newly born fawns, your whole life's work has been. This is the statement that if you are following and subscribing to this, will ensure that you go to jail for the rest of your life. Quote, and by this truth, ability to speak, we will choose our destiny by honest discourse and honest discourse alone, or we will resolve it by honest violence. Ladies and gentlemen, run like hell and never look back. Anybody saying, quote, and by this truth, ability to speak, we will choose our destiny by honest discourse and honest discourse alone, or we will resolve it by honest violence, has set you up to go to jail for the rest of your life.
G'day. Real early in the morning, so I'm trying to be quiet, not disturb your neighbours and whatnot. And I'm just walking down to the main road, and I've got another. You can't really see it at the moment, can you? But it's another no light guilt sign. I'll take a picture of it once it's up with a flash, and yeah, enjoy. As you can see, this is main road, and this is lights right here. So all the cars have to come up the hill and stop and line up all there, and my sign's there.
I explained my reasons. He said, interesting. It made sense. So he would try not to use the anti-white slurs again. I explained my reasons. He said, interesting. It made sense. So he would try not to use the anti-white slurs again. Very well done, Raymond. That is magnificent. Good for you. That is fantastic. And just think, that is going to be able to spread. That is going to be able to spread. And every time they hear this anti-white slur racist, it will fuel their knowledge of it being an anti-white slur. So we can't make the anti-white regime, their news and entertainment media, not use
racist, we know that indeed they're going to use it more than you can imagine. Good. Because every time they use it, they will reinforce what they were teaching. Fuel their knowledge of it being an anti-white slur. That is magnificent. Good for you. That is fantastic. And just think, that is going to be able to spread. That is going to be able to spread. And every time they hear this anti-white slur racist, it will fuel their knowledge of it being an anti-white slur. Will fuel their knowledge of it being an anti-white slur. That is going to be able to spread, and every time they hear this anti-white slur racist, it will fuel their knowledge of it being an anti-white slur. So we can't make the anti-white regime with their news and entertainment media not use the concept racist. We know that indeed they're going to use it more than you can imagine. Good. Because every time they use it, they will reinforce what. Why? I explained my reasons. He said, interesting. It made sense. So he would try not to use the anti-white slurs again. Very well done, Raymond. That is magnificent. Good for you. That is fantastic. And just think, that is going to be able to spread. Anti-white slur racist, it will fuel their knowledge of it being an anti-white slur. Good. That is magnificent. Good for you. That is fantastic. And just think, that is going to be able to spread. It made sense. So he would try not to use the anti-white slurs again. Very well done.
Since 2019, Wei Guxian of Wuhan, China began to feel ill, becoming one of the earliest known cases of a SARS-CoV-2 infection. 6 days later, she would be admitted to Wuhan Central Hospital with an infection in both lungs that was resistant to anti-flu drugs. Staff later learned she worked at a wildlife market, later found to be connected to the outbreak. By December 31st, Wuhan health officials had confirmed 27 cases of the new illness. Chinese authorities would even report to the World Health Organization that it had seen no clear evidence of human-to-human transmission of the novel coronavirus. The illness would soon start appearing internationally within days. The reality of the contagious nature of SARS-CoV-2 would soon become dangerously apparent, now called coronavirus disease or COVID-19. Now called COVID-19. SARS-CoV-2 is a particularly dangerous strain of coronavirus because of its perfect balance of contagiousness, incubation period, and fatality. 19.
After all the Chinese
held accountable for what happened in December of 2019 in Wuhan. Republic of China in Taiwan notified the World Health Organization on January 31st of 2019 they could prove human-to-human transmission on mainland China. And the World Health Organization looked the other way and believed the Chinese Communist Party.
We believe everything that the World Health Organization says, and I'm sure not everyone in the Communist Party is a bad person.
China's COVID-19 cover-up. They cornered the market for protective equipment. In January, while they were downplaying the coronavirus, they actually acquired 2 billion masks. The U.S. funds the majority of the money given to the World Health Organization, and it's not the only UN agency that China wants to control. They tried to compete to run the intellectual property agency. They've been stealing intellectual property for decades.
America is racking up milestones that no other country would want to claim. The world's richest nation is now the world's most affected. According to official statistics, the US has overtaken everywhere else in a grim race to the bottom.
You can see that this economic and information war confrontation with China is coming, and the American people, the people throughout the world, and the Chinese people want to hold accountable the Chinese Communist Party. What did they know? When did they know it? And what actions did they take? If they had done what a legitimate government would have done, which is get on top of this and not let it become their biological Chernobyl, all the suffering, all of the economic destruction, all the destruction of pension funds, all the unemployment, all the death would have been avoided. So much of our energy, our time, our intelligence, our money on making sure that all of these disparate groups can get along in our businesses, at our universities, everywhere we go in life, our community centers. Maybe we could be curing disease. Maybe we could be finding ways on preventing disease from spreading from country to country. Maybe we could find ways that would make the impact of new disease or novel diseases easier to take in civilization. But we can't. And now your grandmother or your grandfather, the person you loved more than anyone on planet Earth, is 6 feet under in a flying box. These diseases, this, etc., is going to be hitting our shores because the anti-whites have opened our countries to every sewer on planet Earth. And ladies and gentlemen, the sewers are pouring their sewage down into our lands now.
But then when you go deeper with it, what you realize is that this is not an offensive message at all. Should not be an offensive message. This is a message of defense. This message is very powerful because non-white, anti-white.
Nathan Lentini, folks, one of our supernovan rising stars. Follow him in the description below.
Whites that see this message, it is equally as powerful in the opposite direction, and they love it. They recognize that that's exactly what is going on, and that is exactly the right message. They see and they feel that it's the sweet spot.
Exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
my own image. White petals upon a subtle flame that once drowned in the mire cannot be reclaimed. Tarnish the flame and it may rise again and again, but plunge it into darkness and no spark can rekindle its fires. Master yourselves, and that journey begins by looking within.
My soul brought a host of gods to celebrate and feast. Human flesh defiled by some human riding beasts. The horde began to march to war, grotesque were their desires. But in the war, to reports of skyborne Captain summoned Morland and called out for the Lord. He mustered the resort room and rode out to meet the Horde. Redlock hailed his captain as he rode up on the plain. The pieces were in motion, but did they move in vain? And Indeal prepared himself to sound the horns of war. Prometheus appears manifest report. Hail the fellow Roma and the armies of the light, who purge the ghouls of darkness like a fire in the night. The time is near at hand when wrath will show its face. Shrink not from your destiny, rise up and take your place. Bestow. He sent them into caverns deep to trap their haughty foes.
Choking screams and desperate cries of men washed over the pitched fields of Archetype. Throats pierced by spears, veins severed, geysers of black froth, lungs filling with blood round to the tusks of jagged darts, flesh melting under the dragon's inferno, fighters fighting, fighters killed, and the ground screamed blood.
Until they couldn't raise their swords. Legions will show its face. Shrink not from your destiny, rise up and take your place. Hail the fellow Roma and the armies of the light, who purge the ghouls of darkness like a fire in the night. The time is near at hand when wrath will show its face. Shrink not from your destiny, rise up and take your place.
Written by Douglas Olson before he came to Going Free. Watch this and the following over at the legendary Final Blossoms channel, which you can find in the description below.
It's important that we cleanse ourselves of the filth that is the anti-white narrative, and we start living the rest of our lives in our story. What is that story exactly? The story is called Prometheus Rising, and it's the story of our people. Prometheus Rising. Take back your destiny. The story of our people. It's the story of our people going back to the time when we were created by the source and the deliverer, that is Prometheus.
If you haven't seen him yet, folks, this is an amazing champion for our people. His channel is called Right Wing Universe. Check him out in the description below.
And our great creations, our magnificent triumphs, a story about our heroes, our gods, our friends, our family, our community. Prometheus Rising is our spiritual tome. This is a sacred text that I will urge everyone I come across who is in the white positive sphere or is joining us in the white positive sphere. This is a text, a sacred text that I will encourage them to read.
I asked the clerk at the grocery store to give me 3 packs of condoms. She asked if I needed a paper bag with that. I said nah, she's pretty good looking. And, actually, yeah, give me the bag. And one more thing. Are you doing anything later on tonight?